They lied to you. For your entire life, you were sold a specific dream. You were told that if you went to school, got the degree, and landed that six-figure job, you would be set. You were told that $100,000 a year was the finish line. It was the golden ticket to the American dream. A house, 2 cars, a vacation every summer, and zero stress. But here you are. It is January 2026. You are looking at your bank account, and the math isn't mathing. You are making more money than your parents ever did, yet you feel poorer than they ever were. You aren't buying a home, you're barely surviving rent. You aren't investing, you're managing debt. And you are asking yourself the most terrifying question a man can ask. Is this it? If you are making $80,000, $100,000, or even $150,000 a year, and you still feel like you are one bad month away from financial ruin, this video is for you. Because you aren't crazy, you aren't bad with money, and you aren't alone. Today, I am going to prove to you with cold, hard math that the middle class is officially dead. I'm going to show you exactly where your money is being stolen, why the government's inflation numbers are a complete fabrication, and why making $100K in 2026 is mathematically equivalent to making $50K in 2010. And listen to me carefully. The system needs you to stay asleep. They need you to think this is your fault, so you keep working harder. By the end of this video, I am going to hand you the red pill. I'm going to show you the exit. But first, we have to look at the crime scene. Welcome to Financial Stud. Let's break down the robbery.
Section 1. The anatomy of a 100K paycheck. Let's stop talking in feelings and start talking in facts. Let's take a forensic look at a $100,000 salary in the United States right now. On paper, you are in the top 20% of earners globally. You should be popping champagne. But let's look at what actually hits your bank account. First, Uncle Sam takes his cut. Between federal income tax, Social Security, Medicare, and state tax, assuming you live in an average state like New York, California, or even Illinois, the government is taking roughly 30% off the top immediately. So that $100,000 is actually $70,000. That breaks down to roughly $5,800 a month. Okay, $5,800, that still sounds decent, right? You can work with that. Wrong. Let's talk about the big 3 killers: housing, transport, and food. In 2026, the median rent for a decent, not luxury, just decent, 1-bedroom apartment in a city where 6-figure jobs actually exist is hovering around $2,200 a month. If you want a 2nd bedroom for a home office or a child, you are looking at $3,000 easily. But let's be conservative. Let's say you found a deal for $2,200. Your $5,800 is now $3,600. Next, transportation. The average car payment in the U.S. has now crossed $750 a month for a new vehicle and $550 for used. But it's not just the car note. Insurance rates in 2026 have skyrocketed by nearly 40% in the last 4 years due to repair costs and extreme weather claims. Add gas, which is permanently stuck above $3.50 a gallon in most places, and maintenance. Conservatively, your car costs you $1,000 a month just to sit in your driveway and get you to work. Your $3,600 is now $2,600. Now, let's eat. Have you been to a grocery store lately? It feels like a robbery. A bag of chips is $7. A pound of ground beef is $8. The days of a $100 weekly grocery bill are gone. For a single meal eating healthy, protein, vegetables, you're spending at least $600 a month. If you go on a date, grab a few coffees, or order Uber Eats twice, add another $400. Food is costing you $1,000 a month. Your $2,600 is now $1,600. We have $1,600 left, and we haven't even touched student loans. Average payment is $400. Utilities, phone, internet, and electric, $300. Health insurance and copays, $200. Subscriptions and gym, $100. That is another $1,000 gone. You have $600 left. $600 from a $100,000 salary. If your car breaks down, you are in debt. If you get invited to a wedding, you are in debt. If you want to buy a house, good luck saving a down payment at $600 a month. It will take you 14 years just to save $100K. Do you see the scam now? You aren't middle class, you are the working poor with a nicer lease. You are running on a hamster wheel that is spinning faster than your legs can move.
Section 2. The Silent Depression. Now, the media will tell you I'm fear-mongering. They'll point to the CPI, Consumer Price Index, and say, look, inflation is down to 2.7%. The economy is strong. This is called gaslighting. Let me explain the concept of the silent depression. In the Great Depression of the 1930s, the misery was loud. There were breadlines. There was 25% unemployment. You could see the poverty. In 2026, the depression is silent because you have a job, you have an iPhone, you have Netflix. On the surface, you look fine, but internally, your purchasing power has been gutted. Here is the data they hide. Official inflation measures the rate of change, not the cumulative damage. They say inflation is 2.7% this year. Great, but that is on top of the 8% from 2022, the 5% from 2023, and the 4% from 2024. Prices didn't go down, they just stopped going up as fast. That $10 lunch is now $18. It is never going back to $10. That rent that was $1,500 is now $2,200. It is never going back down. Let me give you the Big Mac index of reality. In 1990, a $100,000 salary could buy you the average American home, which cost $120,000, in roughly 1.2 years of gross salary. Today, the median home is over $420,000. Interest rates are double what they were a few years ago. To buy the same lifestyle your dad had in 1990 with $100K, you would need to earn roughly $245,000 today. Let that sink in. If you aren't making $250,000 a year, you are mathematically poorer than a 1990s middle-class dad. This is why you feel tired. This is why you feel anxious. Your brain knows the math is broken even if the news tells you everything is fine. You are working harder, producing more, and being tracked more than any generation in history, and your reward is a lower standard of living. And the worst part, it's about to get worse for one specific group of people: renters. Section 3. The Forever Renter Trap. I want to speak directly to the men watching this who do not own a home. There's a term circulating in the financial elite circles, the rentership society. Look at the headlines. You will own nothing and be happy. That wasn't a meme, it was a business plan. Private equity firms like BlackRock and Vanguard have been buying up single-family homes by the thousands. Why? Because they know you can't afford them. Here is the housing trap of 2026. Interest rates are sitting in the higher for longer zone. Even if they cut rates slightly, we aren't seeing 3% mortgages ever again. So you're stuck. If you buy a $400,000 home at 7% interest, your monthly payment is roughly $3,200. That is suicide on a $100K salary. But if you rent, your landlord, who is likely a corporation now, raises your rent by 5 to 10% every single year. This creates a state of suspended adulthood. Men in their late 20s and early 30s are delaying marriage. They are delaying kids. Why? Because they don't have a nest. They don't have security. And this is the deep, dark psychological toll of the silent depression. It strips you of your masculinity. It strips you of your role as a provider. You feel like a child asking permission to paint a wall, asking permission to have a pet, waiting for the email that says your rent went up again. This is not an accident. A population of renters is a population of serfs. If you don't own assets, you are at the mercy of those who do. And right now, the barrier to entry for ownership has been raised so high that 100K doesn't even get you a ticket to the game. Section 4. The psychological tax. I want to take a moment to acknowledge the mental toll of this. I read the comments. I see what you guys are saying. I'm tired. I feel like I'm drowning. What's the point? This is the psychological tax of the new economy. It's the stress of the golden handcuffs. You hate your job, you can't quit. You have $2,000 rent due. You want to start a business, you can't take the risk. You have no savings. This constant state of financial survival mode keeps your cortisol levels high. It ruins your sleep. It ruins your libido. It ruins your relationships. And the worst part is the gaslighting from the older generation. Just skip the avocado toast. Just work harder. When I was your age, I had a house and 2 kids. Yeah, Dad, because your college tuition cost $500 and your house cost 2 years of your salary. The disconnect between the boomer generation and the 2026 reality is creating a massive cultural resentment. But getting angry at them won't fix your bank account. We have to accept the reality. The game has changed. The rules of 1990 do not apply to 2026. If you try to play by the old rules, save 10%, put it in a 401k, buy a house, you will lose. You will die broke. You need a new playbook. You need to become a financial wartime general. So, what is the solution?
Section 5. The New Rules of Money. I didn't make this video to depress you. I made it to wake you up. Once you realize the system is rigged, you stop trying to play fair and you start playing to win. Here are the 3 shifts you need to make immediately if you want to escape the 100K poverty trap. Rule number 1. Income is defense. Assets are offense. Stop obsessing over your salary. Your salary is just cash flow. Cash flow is taxed the highest and destroyed by inflation. You need to convert that cash into hard assets immediately. I'm talking about things that the government can't print. Bitcoin, gold, real estate, if you can hack the entry. You cannot save your way to wealth in a currency that is losing 5 to 10% of its value a year. You have to invest your way out. Rule number 2. The side hustle is no longer optional. It used to be nice to have extra income. Now it is a survival requirement. You cannot rely on one income stream. If your boss fires you tomorrow, you are dead in the water. You need to use AI. You need to use the internet. You need to find a way to make an extra $1,000 or $2,000 a month that is scalable. That extra money doesn't go to lifestyle. It goes to buying your freedom. Rule number 3. Radical minimalism temporarily. You have to stop trying to look rich. The guy in the BMW next to you, he's broke. He's leasing it. He's drowning. For the next 24 months, you need to go into monk mode. Cut the expenses. Get roommates if you have to. Drive the beater car. Why? Because you need to build a war chest. You need 20K, 30K, 50K in liquid cash. When the recession hits, and it is coming, assets will go on sale. The people with cash will become the new kings. The people with debt will be wiped out. This is the greatest wealth transfer in history. You are either going to be the victim of the inflation, or you are going to profit from the asset inflation. The choice is yours. In my next video, I am going to break down exactly how to build that war chest. I'm going to show you the specific assets I am buying right now to hedge against the collapse of the dollar. If you want to survive 2026, you need to be subscribed to this channel. Comment below, what is the price of eggs in your city right now? Let's document the inflation right here in the comments. This is Financial Stud. Class dismissed.